Hello, welcome to today's edition of Daf Yomi. Talking Menachot, Menachot, Daf 75 Omid. So let's dive straight in. Just as here, with regard to the deep pan meal offering, the placement of oil in an empty vessel is required, to which the flour is added only afterwards, so too there, with regard to the meal offerings prepared in a shallow pan, the placement of oil in an empty utensil is required. Just as there, with regard to the meal offering prepared in a shallow pan, pouring and mixing are required. As the verse states, mixed with oil and poured oil upon it. Leviticus 2:5-6. So too here, with regard to a deep pan meal offering, pouring and mixing are required. The mission teaches, with regard to meal offerings that come as loaves, i.e. those prepared in a shallow pan or deep pan, or those baked in an oven, It is after the flour has been baked into loaves that one breaks them into pieces and mixes them with oil. This is statement of Rabbi Huda Nasi. And the rabbi says it is with fine flour before the baking that one mixes the oil. The sages taught in a Braita, with regard to the meal offering prepared in a shallow pan, the verse states it shall be a fine flour, unleavened, mixed with oil. This teaches that it is mixed while still flour. Rabbi Huda Nasi says, it is after the flour has been baked into loaves that he mixes them, as is stated. And when you bring a meal offering baked in the oven, it shall be unleavened loaves of fine flour mixed with oil. In Leviticus 2:4. The rabbi said to him, but it is not with regard to loaves of a thanks offering. The Gemara does not present Rabbi Huda Nasi's answer to the question of the rabbis here. According to the Sefta, Rabbi Huda Nasi retracted his opinion, conceding, I see that their opinions are sounder than mine. That it is stated, unleavened loaves mixed with oil and loaves mixed with oil of fine flour soaked, Leviticus 7:12. And it is not possible to mix them when they are loaves, but only when they are of fine flour. The Gemara explains the procedure of mixing the oven-baked meal offerings according to the rabbis. How does the priest perform the rite? He places the oil in a utensil before the placement of the flour is done, and then he places the flour into the utensil. And he then places the oil upon it and mixes it and kneads it in lukewarm water, and bakes it in a shallow pan or a deep pan in accordance with his vow, and then he breaks it into pieces, and he again places the oil upon the pieces, which constitutes the required pouring, and he removes the handful for the altar. Rabbi Huda Nasi says, after the meal offerings have been baked into loaves, one bakes them into pieces and mixes them with oil, as is stated, loaves of fine flour mixed with oil. How does the priest perform the rite? He places the oil in a utensil. Before the placement of flour is done, he then places the flour into the utensil. He then kneads it in lukewarm water and bathes it in a